What is going on? Welcome to our channel. I am Michael, co-founder and CEO of Reality Hacker, and I am here to bring you chapter 22 of The Power of Awareness. And that chapter is called Persistence. As always, we're going to read through the chapter as a whole. We're going to dissect it piece by piece, and we're going to get through this thing together. Going to learn some good stuff, going to do some good things, and I'm pretty excited. So, chapter 22, Persistence. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and go unto him at midnight, and say, Friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine in his journey is come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, Trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give thee. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his inopportunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth. And I say unto you, ask and it shall be given, seek and you will find, knock and it shall be opened to you. There are 3 principal characters in this quotation, you and the 2 friends mentioned. The first friend is a desired state of consciousness. The second friend is desire seeking fulfillment. And the third is symbol of wholeness and completion. Loaves symbolize substance. The shut door symbolizes the senses, which separate the seen from the unseen. Children in bed means ideas that are dormant. Inability to rise means a desired state of consciousness cannot rise to you. You must rise to it. Importunity means demanding persistency, a kind of brazen impudence. Ask, seek, and knock mean assuming the consciousness of already having what you desire. Thus, the scriptures tell you that you must persist in rising to or assuming the consciousness of your wish already being fulfilled. And the promise is definite that if you are shameless in your impudence, in assuming that you already have that which you desire, it shall be given to you and your desire will be attained. The Bible teaches the necessity of persistence by the use of many stories. When Jacob sought a blessing from the angel with whom he wrestled, he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. And when the Shunammite sought the help of Elijah, she said, As the Lord lives, and as your soul lives, I will not leave you. And he arose and followed her. And the same idea is expressed in another passage. And he spoke a parable unto them, that men ought to always pray and not faint, saying, There was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came to him, saying, Avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, Though I fear not God, nor regard man, because this widow troubles me, I'm going to avenge her, lest she wearies me by continual coming. The basic truth underlying each of these stories is that desire springs from the awareness of ultimate attainment, and that persistence in maintaining the consciousness of the desire already being fulfilled results in its fulfillment. It is not enough to feel yourself into the state of the answered prayer. You must persist in that state, and that is the reason for the injunction, men ought to always pray and not faint. And here to pray means to give thanks for already having what you desire. Only persistency in the assumption of the wish fulfilled can cause those subtle changes in your mind, which result in the desired change in your life. It matters not whether they are angels, Elisha, reluctant judges. All must respond in harmony with your own persistent assumption. And when it appears that people other than yourself in your world do not act towards you as you would like, it's not due to reluctance on their part, but a lack of persistence in your assumption of your life already being as you want it to be. Your assumption to be effective cannot be a single isolated act. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. And that maintained attitude that gets you there so that you think from your wish fulfilled instead of thinking about your wish is aided by assuming of the wish, feeling the wish fulfilled frequently. It is the frequency, not the length of time, that makes it natural. That to which you constantly return constitutes your truest self. Frequent occupancy of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of success. Wow, really good stuff. Breaking this thing down, what amazes me is how so much can be said in 2 to 3 pages. So this entire the first page of this chapter is all about using a parable that's in Scripture to give us an example of how this process actually begins to work, okay? Ultimately, we lay out every single aspect of this. The first friend is a desired state of consciousness. The second friend is a desire seeking fulfillment, right? 3 is the symbol of wholeness and completion, okay? I really, 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 really love how he talks about, friend, give me 3 loaves, right? Give me completion. A friend of mine has come to me and I have nothing to set before him, right? The first friend is a desired state of consciousness who's looking for completion. The second friend is a desire seeking fulfillment, right? That is the person that comes and says, hey, I've got a friend here. They need some stuff, right? That friend that came here and needs stuff, that's the second friend. That's the desire seeking fulfillment. And 3 is the symbol of wholeness and completions. Loaves symbolize the substance. So what happens here is the first person, right? The first person comes, ultimately goes to his other friend and says, hey, I need 3 loaves. Another friend of mine is coming to town and I have nothing to set before him, okay? First friend, the person that's desiring, right? Desiring a state of consciousness or a desired state of consciousness. Second friend, right? The one that comes into town, desire, seeking fulfillment, okay? 3 is the symbol of wholeness and completion. So when the friend gets the 3 loaves, the wholeness, completion, and gives it to his desire, right? So the first friend is a state of consciousness. The second friend is a desire seeking fulfillment. So the first friend gets the 3 loaves, which are the substance, symbolizing wholeness and completion, give it to the second friend, which is a desire seeking fulfillment. And by giving the bread to the second friend, we find a solidified state of consciousness reproducing itself in reality, right? The shut door symbolizing the senses, which separate the seen from the unseen, and children in bed, meaning ideas that are dormant. The inability to rise, meaning a desired state of consciousness cannot rise to you, you must rise to it, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, getting to the fact that the promise is that if we are shameless in our impudence and assuming that we already have that which we are wanting to be or have, it'll be given to us. And this is it, right? What I love about this is that it's persistence. It's not just one and done, and I think that there is one and dones that happen, but for most of us, that's not a reality. You get to a one and done by really being and living from a place of your infinite power, regardless of desire, right? So it's that open container of desire or open container of infinity that makes space for a desire to come and for us to assume its fulfillment without much resistance. Now, the easier things, right? Going to get some food, getting an extra set of tips for the night, right? Whatever it is, the smaller things, or it may be easy for you, it may not be easy for you. The easy things are easy, and they only require a little bit of persistence because they're already natural to us, right? But Neville talks about the feeling of naturalness determines the speed at which a thing comes into our lives. And until we are frequently occupying a state of consciousness, the state doesn't become natural or habitual to us. And we'll know something has become natural to us because in our moment of rest, we return back to it, right? When we're not occupied by anything, when we're not going throughout our day. This is such a good question to help you gauge where you are throughout the day. Where are you when you are at rest? If you are in a place where you rest and you're reclusing to, I don't have what I want, everything sucks, I'm separate from what I want, all those different kind of mentalities, that's really the dominant state that you're living in. Even if you're pushing hard while you're working throughout your day, oh, I'm infinite, I'm this, I'm that. Where you return to when you rest is ultimately what constitutes yourself, your truest self, your self-image, right? So the job here is to move into a state of consciousness frequently, immersing ourselves in the feeling of having what we want without being attached to the having of what we want. But the key here is we still have to actually enter the feeling and be satiated with it to such a degree that we're not cognizant of any sort of lack of the very thing that we're in the state of. And you can know that you've gotten into a state when other ideas are crowded out of consciousness. You can know that you've gotten into a state of abundance when there's not even the tiniest iota of thought of lack. And this is the job. This is the job that we have, is to move into states over and over and over and over again. Because what you find, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. What you find is that as you move into a state of successful manifestation, you move into a state where you're continuing to take positive action that leads to positive outcomes. Eventually, it no longer becomes about the things. It becomes about us. And that really, if we want to get into the secrets of this, that's really what it's about the entire time. It's not about the things. It's about us, right? This whole aspect of creation, it's not about creating things. It's about becoming a person who creates those things. And this is what I love about this, right? It's not enough to feel yourself into the state of the answered prayer. You must persist in the state. And that is the reason for injunction. Now, if you're having problems persisting in a state, there's a chance that there are limiting beliefs or trauma, whatever word we want to use there. Don't want to spend too much time on that. But we do talk about that quite a bit, that there's something in the body that's preventing you from accessing a new place of being. And the chances are, most of the time, when we are finding ourselves prohibiting ourselves from entering a new state of consciousness, it's because there's some sort of safety mechanism that is firing in our nervous system that says it is dangerous to go here. Okay? And the chances are, if you've been at this, you've probably already begun to notice that. When you try to move into a new state, your mind is filled with thoughts of the opposite, because ultimately those opposite thoughts are our self-concept. You could almost say self-consciousness, but self-concept is a better word here, right? And only persistency in the assumption of the wish fulfilled can cause those subtle changes in your mind, which result in the desired change in your life, right? Matters not whether they be angels, Elijah, reluctant judges, all must respond in harmony with your persistent assumption. Because the truth is, man, convolution breeds convolution. Double-mindedness breeds double-mindedness. We cannot go back and forth between abundance and lack and expect to create a consistent stream of positive outcomes. We must be willing to move away from our states of powerlessness and excuses and justifications and move into the havingness, the beingness of being what we want, because that is the reality of things. You are all imagination, and because you are all imagination, the substance of you is the same substance that constitutes the thing wanted. Whatever the thing that you want is, its fundamental essence is also your essence. So the longer you keep yourself away from the state of having it, you keep yourself away from having it. And even if you do have it, you'll lose it because you're not in the state where you could keep it. Action follows states. If your state does not reflect it, you will not keep it. This is why this is so much more about us and who we are becoming, more than it ever is about getting a thing. Your assumption to be effective cannot be an isolated act. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. Maintained, right? Ongoing, continuously curated, right? We want to continue. We want to maintain the state of the wish fulfilled. That might mean that there requires some intentional state choices, right? It is my job to move myself into a state where the things from that state come into my life. It's not my job to worry about the things. It's my job to focus on cultivating the state and making the state my home, my bedroom, my bed, right? I want to make the state that blanket that I wrap myself in the middle of winter. And I don't want to let it go. I want to persist in it continuously until another desire comes around, because another one will. As soon as we acquire whatever it is that we're wanting to acquire, another desire is going to come as quick as that one came. They're never going to stop. You're never going to stop wanting. There is no end to desire, right? But the end of longing is being. And so in order to capitalize on the manifestation, the positive outcomes here, on creating desires, I must live as though I already am what I want to be. I must be cognizant of being what I want to be. It's not about being a millionaire or a billionaire. It's about being fundamentally abundant. It's about being fundamentally the source from all that is, because when you look at that, in retrospect, $1 million is chump change. $1 million is absolutely nothing compared to the vast wealth that you actually are. And this is why we go back to understanding that at the end of the day, all of this stuff is amazing, but if I don't understand that who I am, my nature fundamentally is imagination, it will be impossible for me to truly nail down what needs to nail down in order for me to actually take this stuff and move with it successfully, right? It's the frequency. It's not the length of time that you persist at one time, okay? It's not about doing it for an hour and doing it for another hour and doing it for another hour. It's the frequency that makes it natural. It's the constant returning to it that makes it what you return to on your own. Again, we go back to that. If you're not returning to a state of abundance when you're not active, if you're not returning to a state of abundance when you're in your rest states, you can guarantee what you're going to create because action springs from states. Apples come from apple trees, right? Oranges come from orange trees. Action does not betray the state that begets it. It can't. It can't. And this is what I love about the chapter before this, free will. We have free will in choosing the state of consciousness we'll occupy, but not the conditions and events that we create. It's the frequency, not the length of time, that makes a state natural, right? That to which you constantly return constitutes your truest self. And only persistency in the assumption of the wish fulfilled can cause those subtle changes in your mind, which result in the desired change in your life. So this is your job, twofold. Understand that you are infinite. You are all imagination experiencing itself subjectively. And in that, you have the power to influence and generate by the nature of entering into a new state of consciousness and frequently returning there, right? Frequently returning, persisting, maintaining, right? No one and done's here. We're building long-term viability. Get comfy, strap in. You are on the adventure of a lifetime. Awesome. I'm so excited. We are almost done with the power of awareness. What a journey it has been here. The next chapter is case histories, and after that, we'll be going into chapter 24, chapter 25, and the rest of the book. If you have loved our time together, if you've loved what you've heard here, please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, comment. Love to hear what you have to say. Love to get dialogue with you, feedback with you. We're going to be here for a while. And if you're not new here, keep on the lookout. We're continuously adding new content. We're adding new masterclasses. We're adding new meditations, new hypnosises, new dialogues. And I just couldn't be more grateful for you joining us today. So that being said, go ahead, like, subscribe, and see us next time. Chapter 24 of The Power of Awareness by Neville, brought to you by Reality Hacker Co. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.